Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D, and Double OT, Terrific Trav. How you fellas doing today?
Chilling.
Ready to rock. Or should I say, ready to restore some tapes, baby?
Hey, yeah, we got to restore some tapes. We got to rewind. Be kind to rewind.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what kind of tapes we restoring?
Yes, we are.
Hey,
not the Triple X kind.
We are reviewing Archive 81. It is a show that's on Netflix right now. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, like you say every time,
podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thank you all for watching. But when you see the like button, make sure that you ask it if it has any tapes that you could restore for. And while it's thinking about it, click that like button. Thank you.
Restore our hearts.
That's right. Restore.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into this review. So Archive 81, it's a supernatural TV show. It involves time and two different time eras and whatnot, which is something that I really enjoyed. And we're going to get into it in this review. But one of the things that I really liked about this show was that I loved how it was a mystery and you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know who was working with who. You didn't know because you find out that it's a cult that's involved in all this other stuff. But it's just like, is it like a cult? Or because at first it was paraded as like it was just a church group. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But then, when we find out that it's a cult, man, I like that. I also like in the apartment building that they were in that I was getting Rosemary's Baby vibes, because of Jess and, her saying that she was born in the building and whatnot, the Visor, as they called it.
Yep, the Visor. The Visor apartments.
I just thought it was cool, but I mean, before we get into what was going on in this apartment building, like our main protagonist of the show is Dan the Man Turner. And
Dan the Man, baby.
Hey, it's like, he is somebody who collects VHS tapes and, he gets offered this position to come and work for Virgil Davenport, who wants him to, restore these tapes and whatnot. Yep. And he doesn't know why he wants him to restore these tapes, but he eventually finds out. And it's just so secretive. So, Trav, I want to start with you first. What was your thoughts on the series as a whole?
Yeah, man, it was great. I love James Wan. I love when shit gets weird.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yes, it does.
All I needed to hear was that James Wan was involved in. I was going to watch it. It had, Jeff Barrow. I don't know how y'all felt about the score, but it had Jeff Barrow from Portishead's that shit right there.
Yeah, I actually I brought it up to Banks a couple days ago. I said that I really liked the eerie the eerie score for it. It was just it fit very well. It seemed all dark and gloomy, but continue, Trav.
Hey, that's what he does, man.
Yeah, man.
So what was I saying? I like it was just a really good show, really weird. You still don't know what was going on to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And is it aliens? Is it demons? Are aliens and demons really the same thing? They had me questioning my existence.
Nah, I feel you on that. D?
Yeah, I definitely just I'm gonna agree with everything Trav said. This is one that I shout out to you guys and thank you both for supporting and watching it. I thought that it was great. I actually really liked the jumping back and forth. It was kind of like, in a way, time travel without time travel, because it's telling you the events of what happened at the Visor. And then you have Dan restoring it at the same time. And it's like, he starts tripping out. Then he has a discovery of the mold, which I'm like, is he starting to trip because of the mold? And then you got basically the groundskeeper is watching him the whole time. It's just him and her there. He, he gets his boy Mark involved, and it's just, I thought it was a pretty cool watch for something just kind of eerie, easy going pace, but it was just like the attention to detail. It's definitely something you need to go into, and pay close attention to. for anybody out there who's considering it, if we'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. Nice little watch. Thanks.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. And to piggyback off of what Trav was saying about if it was a demon, if it was an alien, like you just didn't know. And it was just so creepy, like the score that they went with, and that one scene where Melody had, because it's in 1994, and that's where the tapes were recorded. Melody, she's trying to find her mom, so she goes to this apartment building, and it's kind of like she's doing a documentary, and she's interviewing people who stay at the apartment because she's just trying to figure out like what happened to her mom. And she never really knew her mom. Like, she was put up for adoption and whatnot. And when she finally had a clue that she could find her mom, she ends up going to this apartment building. And when they showed the scene where she had went to the community center and like they were in there worshiping the statue and whatnot, and she
was huffing.
Yeah, they was huffing and all this stuff, and like just the creepy vibes of like some of the people who lived in the apartment building, like the chick with the red hair, she was going up doing like little kiss and everything, and the maintenance man at the apartment, stay off the 6th floor, don't go up there. It was just so much mystery with this show, and like I said, like who can you trust? Because going back to the modern time, and Dan, like nobody knew what happened to his family and whatnot. But then you got Virgil saying, I know that your family died in the fire. And he's just like, what the, like, how did you know that? And Virgil was just being so secretive the entire time. Everybody was
Virgil knows.
Hey, don't forget about your boy Samuel.
That's what I was about to get to. It's just like, we got this dude Samuel, and he was trying to be the nice neighbor next door and all this stuff, and then when it's revealed that that's Virgil's brother, and then we see in the tapes that Melody recorded where you see that Virgil, he was there. That's why I was just like, like what's going on? Because we was talking about this in our Peacemaker review, where how it's like they never give you everything in one episode. It's like they give you a little bit, they drop breadcrumbs, and then like as the series progresses, you're just like, oh, so that's the reason why they were doing this, or that's the reason why they did that. And I just think that they did such a good job with making you want to see what's going to happen next. Like, why was this person there? Like, why was Dan's dad there? Like, how did Dan know? I mean, not Dan, but how did Dan's dad know Melody and whatnot? Because we still don't know who started the fire at Dan's house. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see. And now that we see that because Dan is stuck in 1994 now, like, and it's time travel, will he be able to save his family now? Now, D, I want to ask you this.
Yes.
When Dan woke up and he was in 1994, do you think that he is actually in 1994 because of time travel somehow? Or do you think that he's in like the world that Melody and Samuel were in, and they like he's trapped there right now?
I think that it's weird. You and I spoke about the Samuel thing too, because we don't know where he is. And Samuel, clearly he's still over there too, which is kind of weird, because you would think that if he's going to help her get out, why didn't he get out himself?
Yeah.
But I definitely think that they just switched places, and now Dan is clearly in 1994. So it's going to be interesting. Is she going to try, because now that the tapes are restored or whatnot, my thing is, can she figure out how to communicate with him? Because he's a video restorer, or a video restorator, excuse me. And that is his profession. Now, where do we go from here? Does she just sit in that same building? But her mom has the keys to the castle. Key,
exactly.
So it's interesting. Is she going to be like, well, he's just a lost cause? It's going to be very intriguing to see where they go from here.
I kind of feel you on that, because it's like she got her daughter back, and she was pretty much just using Dan because Dan was the only person that
could figure it out.
Yeah, because we saw that they were using the guy before, and like he went insane. You know what I'm saying? So,
but also, I want to say this: Now it's not like your typical, okay, I shot all the witnesses. Like Mark is still there.
Yeah.
So is it going to be a case of like maybe her mom knowing that the more she opens that gateway that the demon or whatnot can get out? That could be it too. So because they didn't really touch on that thing. It was just like kind of like there.
Yeah.
Caligo? What was it?
Caligo. Yeah, because he just
I know a guy.
We see the statue at first, and then Dan, he starts seeing like Caligo like trying to get out of the screen and stuff. And remember the other guy that was working with the videos and stuff, like he kept on saying, I kept seeing the face. I kept seeing something in the screen.
Do you think he got snatched up?
No, he was murdered.
He was murdered. Yeah.
He was. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember he died in the car accident. They paid off the girlfriend. But let's keep in mind, Samuel also escaped too. Now,
yeah, he did.
This will be interesting too, because I think we're going to see a typical anime storyline here where Samuel realizes he was wrong the whole time, and they could recruit him. This is some Fast and the Furious, right? The villain becomes part of the gang the next movie. So, I could see Samuel joining the gang to try and help get Dan back because he was swindled.
Yeah.
I could see Sam. Now, you're saying Samuel did get out.
Yeah, that's how Melody got out. Sam grabbed her and...
Well, he grabbed her.
Dan was stuck.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't see Samuel after that. You just see her being picked up by the mom.
Yeah, we don't know where he went.
But you do think he got out.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course. I think he got out, but I want to piggyback Trav because I feel like, well, what is it, man? Like we've seen this in like movies or TV shows before, where it's just like somebody has to stay behind so that way that the other person can.
Hey, Armageddon.
Yeah, hey, Trav, I was just about to make classic example.
So
don't want to close my eyes.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where it's just like, okay, this guy has to take our place so that way we can escape. And now, unfortunately, Dan is stuck. And I'm really looking forward to season 2 to see like how Dan is going to try and escape, because a part of me was thinking that, okay, like this is him inside of the Phantom Zone, and like he's stuck there. This is Caligo playing tricks on him and whatnot. Like, who else is he going to see there? But as soon as like they show like the MTV news on the screen, I was just like, yeah, he's stuck in the past, man. And because we grew up in that era, even though we were kids, I just remember like those old MTV news.
For sure. Kurt.
Right here, guys.
Kurt Loder.
Hey, shout out to Kurt Loder. But here's an interesting fact. If they switched, so here's the difference. Dan knows the whole story. Right?
Yes.
Now they switch places. Dan knows who her mom is and everything now. Now what's to stop Dan from seeking her out in 1994 because he knows what she knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
he could just go go seek out exactly. Yeah. He could go seek out the mom now.
Don't get weird.
And be like, hey, your daughter's safe. I could definitely see him doing that though. Yeah. But he has to find her.
And these are some of the key differences from the podcast versus the show, where the show is like loosely based on the podcast.
Okay.
Because in the podcast, obviously it's a listening thing, so they're cassette tapes instead of VHS tapes. Yeah. Melody's actually married to a woman on the podcast versus in the show where she's like a single chick.
Yeah.
And it's not the same kind of ending thing. So I don't know the correlation here. I don't know where they go.
Let me ask you this, Trav, since you dove into the actual podcast, how do you feel about the changes that they made? Do you feel like it works?
Yeah, because this is still a really good show.
Yeah. Well, I just figured I'd ask.
And some of them needed to be changed. I mean, I think the Melody thing, I mean, I think they still could have made her gay.
Yeah, her and Annabelle.
But then again, she's not necessarily straight neither, because we don't really see her with anybody. Like,
correct.
She could be into girls too, for all we know. They just didn't.
She kissed Samuel.
Right? Yeah, but I'm saying she could also be into girls. We don't know. Yeah, they didn't explore. The key difference is she ain't married. And the other one.
It was a lot of weird stuff going on with Vincer. Let's just say that.
when she's married, she knows who she is. The wife, like, knows that she's the daughter of this ancient family or whatever, but she doesn't know. So, like, she didn't marry her because she loved her. You know, she's trying to get her.
So like she married her because
right. So they have to make changes like that because they changed the storyline. But Dan's the actual character. The podcast is set up to where it's found footage and he's trying to find his friend. But the podcast is like hey, can you help me? It's kind of like Blair Witch. When Blair Witch came out, we thought it was real.
Yeah.
The podcast is set up like this is real, and the guy's trying to get us to help him find his friend Dan.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, so
it's really good. I definitely recommend.
So the podcast guy, Mark, is trying to find Dan.
Correct. And then Mark ends up finding where Dan is, and I didn't listen to season 2. So I don't know where it goes from there.
See, like
I'll get around
I want to check it out
too.
just to see the difference.
Oh, it's definitely worth checking out.
As soon as I catch up on Critical Role, so it'll probably be in about a year. I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, this was a really good show. It was an easy watch. Again, because like I said, we just did our Peacemaker review. It's like I like when I said that. I like when shows, they satisfy you at the end, and whether it ends on a high note or it ends on a low note, it makes you, especially if it ends on like a cliffhanger and whatnot, you want to know what's going to happen next, because there's so many questions that I need answers to, and the only way I'm going to be able to find those out is if I start listening to the podcast and then wait until season 2 comes out, because it hasn't been greenlit or anything. And you guys know how Netflix.
We know how Netflix. They sit in a room and flip coins.
Well, I think this will get picked up because again, it has Atomic Monster and James Wan behind it.
Yeah,
true.
And it's not like some random indie thing they picked up to put on there. Like, it's got some weight behind it with James Wan and his company putting together the whole thing. So yeah, I think it'll definitely get. We'll see season 2.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I was also getting Midnight Mass vibes from it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that about Samuel. He seemed a lot like Father whatever.
Well, and there's this monster. You're not sure what the monster is yet.
But it was just Mike Samuel like ushering. He's like ushering all these. Yeah, you can trust me. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but with that being said, Trav, I'll start with you first. Final thoughts, and what's your rating for this show?
Yeah, I really recommend this show. I'll tell you what, I think it was episode 4 where they had the seance. I legitimately had to say, okay, I need a break after that one because it had me a little freaked out, bro. It had me a little freaked out. I felt like Banks. I was a little scared. So
I thought she was the water bugs. She was hiding in the closet, and then when Annabelle had said something to your boy, I was just like, "Come on, Annabelle!"
Scumbag.
But again, I don't trust anybody named Annabelle because
for sure
the doll named Annabelle. Nah,
catch a drop kick in the quick.
Honestly, anybody with an old fashioned name, I don't trust, bro. They from
like
old
Augie.
Times. I don't trust them.
Right, Banks? Like Augie. Yeah, Augie, you can't trust them. Clearly,
it's true. So, but yeah, I love this series, man. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I really have no complaints about this series. Had a great ending. It leaves you wanting more, but you still got a conclusion to the original story, but it opened up the door to another one, and it was a really good point. Conclusion and setup, man. So
yeah, I'm gonna rock with Trav and give this one a 10 out of 10 as well. I loved the characters. I love the direction that it goes in. I'm a huge fan of things that go bump in the night and the eerie. And I just want to say that this is another example. Like, we did just do our review for Peacemaker, but this is a great example of the importance of pacing in your project. It has to match. Just don't be like, all right, the building's on fire. Like, Dan, let's hurry up and let's find the tune and play it yourself and all that stuff. Open the portal, snatch the girl. It was nice to get this this steady pace of eerie. You know, it's like Dan's sitting here, he's in the, and then the fact that he's just by himself for the most part in this building, and he's restoring these tapes. He starts seeing things.
Bro, everybody braver in TV shows and movies.
Damn right.
You would be none of us. Ain't none of us staying around for that.
Wouldn't nobody be sitting in there?
He saw his dad. It's like, what's
wouldn't nobody be sitting in there not playing no damn music? You kidding? I had the YouTube playing in the corner, watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Yeah. It was it was wild.
Man. Just chilling.
Being in that house by himself and just
that
being
building.
Included, like, it was.
Oh, I meant to ask you this. When she showed up, the groundskeeper, I immediately knew it was her mother. I said, "Yeah, that's her mom."
Well, I thought it started to weigh on me. It started to weigh on me after a while because it was like she was just kind of there watching him, and it's like, okay, this lady has more to do with this. And then it's like, you know, you get the story that she's looking for her mother, and her mother is like this focal point, and then it's like this older lady clearly would match the description and things like that. So it was there the whole time. But 10 out of 10. It was just it was well written, you know. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, you had the mole, Dan was seeing things. Then there were the moments where he would just like daydream, I guess, and then he'd just be there. Then he had no cell service in certain part. It was just very, very cool.
Very Get Out.
Well. Yeah, very. Hey, if the old lady would have showed up and started stirring the cup, Dan would have been. She would have been like saint.
I mean, somebody probably was though. I mean, because he would pass out and be
he would be waking up. Remember, he was out in the woods and he was just standing there.
Yeah, and then Bobby was just like, "Yeah, you've been here. You've been standing in the same spot for hours."
Wild. So but Banks, your thoughts?
Before I say my thoughts, Trav, you wouldn't say something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick before you give us your thoughts. One of the executive producers, Rebecca Thomas, has another show she's worked on called Limetown with Jessica Biel. And it's on Peacock. And it's this very similar eerie kind of story thing. And she also got another one called When the Streetlights Go On.
That sounds sick.
So I would definitely recommend those two. And she's working on the horror Little Mermaid coming out, where it's more based on the
actual tale,
Disney.
Which is not pleasant at all.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
Now, when the streetlights come on, is that about the red light district, or when you need to be in the house?
I ain't seen that
Michael. About when the streetlights come on, my dad used to tell me to get in the house. Banks.
Now, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 as well, because I enjoyed every episode. I had no complaints. And like I said, you know, those breadcrumbs being sprinkled throughout really, you know, made everything worth it, especially when you got to the end of it. You know, having that cliffhanger, just watching this show in general and just having like all these questions about like what's going on and, you know, why is this thing here? Like, what's on the 6th floor? And just, you know, reminding me of like so many things that I've seen, you know, being a kid and, you know, recent shows, like I said, with like Midnight Mass. And, you know, it just shows you that cults are scary. And I remember being a kid and like, you know, seeing certain movies where like they would have the cults in it. And like, it felt like a legit cult. It didn't feel like, we're a cult and we're the bad guys that need to be stopped. Like, it felt like, damn, yo, like these guys are serious and I'm in the middle of something. I'm in way over my head. And I just love seeing two stories being told over 2 different time periods. And like, I know we've seen that before and, you know, video games and other movies where it's just like something is going on right here and then like something is going on in the past. And I love that when it switched to Dan watching the tapes. You know, certain scenes it was the video footage, but then like it switched over to like this is what's going on, and you know, it's like I'm looking forward to season 2. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing the videotape thing because I feel like now that they have the answers that they need, but I mean it may be a possibility in season 2 now because Dan is in the past that there may be some video footage or videotapes out there.
I was gonna say, because this takes place he's after the Visitor's already burned down, they could bring in some videotape stuff to help find clues
where he is. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like he could be.
He could also go reach out to the guy that was there before him.
Right,
that guy's not dead yet. Depending on
they still have their ability to telepathically talk among each other. They're connected.
Yeah, so it's going to be neat to see what they do with it. I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, but there was a part of me that kind of felt like that Dan and Melody, like eventually, like there might be some sort of chemistry or romance between them.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially because Melody, because she was stuck in the other world, she never aged. Unlike Annabelle, Annabelle's in her 50s now. So it's going to be interesting seeing that dynamic too. Annabelle and Melody reuniting because, Annabelle, she's been
drawing her all these years.
Yeah, she's been drawing her all these years. And then also too, I can't wait to see adult Jess because, Melody, she saved her.
Yeah, that's right.
And, Jess became a nun because of, like, you got to think, like, she was a kid. She was being told all this stuff and that she was going to be, like, this vessel and all this stuff. And, like, Melody's just like, no, they're going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing season 2. Thank you for watching our review. Hop in the comments. Let us know what you thought about Archive 81. Let us know what rating that you gave it. Trav, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
That's right. I'm on the Instagram at ZK Audio. I'm also on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK, or I'm also on Letterboxd, ranking and rating my movies and television shows just like this one. D, man, where we rebelling at?
Yeah, usually you can find me in my hidden cubby hole underneath my kitchen, restoring tapes. But you can also find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Hey, hey, Banks, if they need some tapes restored, where can they find you at?
Hey, your boy always stay editing videos, but yeah, if they do need some tapes restored, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure you check out some more of our reviews and interviews and reaction videos that we have here on the channel. Make sure that you check out our podcast where we drop brand new episodes every Tuesday. And then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube on Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. Happy Black History Month. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast where we release new episodes every Tuesday and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.